What's the secret to get clients as a contractor? Today, I'm going to show you our 4-step framework on how to get clients as a contractor and close more sales. My name is Daniel Quindemil, founder of I Am Builders, and we are an estimating and consulting firm dedicated to helping contractors grow their construction business. And over the last few years, I've seen contractors focus on the wrong things in their business that it is literally preventing them from growing their business. And if you want to get clients as a contractor, there's a strategy that I want to share with you today, which is a step-by-step framework that we've developed over the years that is going to almost overnight get you more sales. If you don't know my story, before I started I Am Builders, I was part of a construction company named Coroni. And when I started at that company, the owner had actually recruited me to help him with his project management as like his right hand. And he sold me on his $20 million vision. And when I got to that office, it was like this tiny little office with like 3 employees. I had like a little panic attack because I was like, well, I just left a nice career job to come here. And what happened was me and Paolo, we got together and started trying to figure out how to grow a construction business. I knew that I had to make it work. So we started figuring out ways like how to get leads, how to get clients, how to estimate those projects, how to negotiate, how to close them. Over those 2 years, we took Coroni from less than $1 million a year to $7 million. And I'm going to share with you those exact steps and those strategies, which is what I teach to all my clients. So what I'm going to share with you today is, number 1, I'm going to show you how to build a lead machine that you're going to get unlimited leads in your pipeline. Number 2, strategic prospecting. I'm going to show you the strategy on how to prospect the right clients. Number 3, bidding and adjusting. How to bid and adjust your price so that you can close those sales. And number 4, the follow-up procedures to secure lifetime clients. So number 1, build yourself a lead machine. The biggest secret in construction, which it shouldn't be a secret, but the more jobs you bid, the more you're going to land. A lot of people ask me like, oh, do you think I can grow my business? Do you think it's possible? It's not if it's possible, it's when it's possible. Because if you look at a large data set, something called the law of large numbers, you're going to notice that you're going to see patterns. And what I've seen over the years is that the average closing rate in construction is about 10%. So if you bid 1,000 jobs this year, which is what you probably should be shooting for, you're going to close 100 jobs, maybe a little bit more, maybe 1,500 jobs. If you bid 100 jobs this year, you're going to close 10 jobs. That's the power of the law of large numbers. So we're going to use that to our advantage because we can figure out, we can deconstruct, we can reverse engineer how many sales we need to sell to grow our business. We'll know how many jobs we have to bid. So if you know that maybe your target is 3 jobs a month, if you're a general contractor, you should be bidding at least 20 jobs a month so you can land at least 2 or 3 jobs a month. Most of the time, general contractors, the contracts are in the hundreds of thousands, maybe even in the millions. So you don't need as many jobs. If you're a subcontractor, however, you obviously have smaller contracts. Depending on whatever your size is, you might be pursuing $50,000 jobs, $100,000 jobs, $200,000 jobs. Those are, small to medium jobs. So you're going to need more of them. So you have to bid at least 60 to 70 jobs a month. That's exactly how we took Coroni from less than $1 million to $7 million, is bidding 60 jobs a month. Before I came to Coroni, Paolo and one of our estimators named Gene, they started cranking out bids left and right. They didn't know what they were doing. They were just like, hey, I'm just going to bid every job that we get invited. We're going to bid it. That was their goal. So they were bidding. They were using digital takeoff software, so it was faster. And they were bidding like 60 jobs a month. As soon as I came in to join the team as a project manager, they had recently just landed like 10 or 15 jobs. I inherited, it was almost like at the same time, because whatever you do today, you're going to see a result 3 to 6 months from now. That's how commercial works. And if you're in the residential side, you're going to see a result like, I want to say 1 to 2 months. There's a sales cycle that goes on behind the scenes with financing and negotiating and things like that. So that's typically how long it takes to be awarded a contract. So you have to plan for that. Now, the reason I said all of that was because I needed to show you that if we get a lot of leads, so we can estimate a lot of jobs, you're going to get a lot of projects. It's very, very, very simple. As you get familiar with your clients, you're going to have a better closing rate. Maybe you'll close 20%, maybe 30, maybe 50%. I have a client in Colorado that he told me he's closing 80 to 90% of his bids because he's been working with the same people for 30 years. That's where you want to be at. You want to get in a position where the jobs are going to be like handed to you, but you have to start at the bottom. You have to start at that 10% and work your way up. So to build a lead machine is very simple. You're going to go to a lead platform on the commercial side. You're going to go to like the Blue Book or Dodge or one of these platforms. There's like a bunch of them. And you're going to go and find all the jobs that you can bid. And what you do is, you have to sign up. Sometimes there's a membership cost. There's like a monthly fee. But the monthly fee is going to be negligible compared to what you're going to get out of it. These platforms are going to post all the projects that are going on in your area. And like the Blue Book, for example, they have a lot of general contractors and a lot of architects post their jobs because they're looking for bidders. Architects are looking for GCs and GCs are looking for subcontractors. So you really should be on those platforms. You can also take an active approach. You don't wait to get invited. You actually start calling and say, hey, can I bid this job? Can I bid this job? Can I bid this job? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. So that's how you take an active approach. On the residential side, you have digital marketing like Google Ads. You can put some advertising where they go to your website, and the goal is that you want them to call you. So if somebody types in like general contractor in my area, you're going to pop up right on the top of Google because it's an ad. You'll see the little thing that says ad, and they're going to click on it and they're going to see your portfolio. They're going to want to talk to you and schedule an appointment. An alternative to that is HomeAdvisor or House or one of these other residential lead platforms where they're going to feed you the leads. They basically get leads from the internet, people that are searching for like how to prepare a budget for a house. And then typically they'll have a really, really nice article, and these people they'll sign up to get a quote for their project, and then they'll push those leads to you. Very, very, very powerful way on the residential side. And now that you built your lead machine, I'm going to show you how to strategically prospect. But first, what do you think about the lead platforms and how are you getting your leads? Go ahead and comment below and tell me what you think. So number 2, strategic prospecting. If you notice, I didn't say prospecting, I said strategic prospecting, because if you're a sub, your target is going to be general contractors, right? GCs are a dime a dozen. There's hundreds and thousands of general contractors in every single city. And also, if you're a general contractor, there's hundreds and thousands of architects and developers. Look, I actually wrote an article called 27 Ways on How to Get More Construction Projects. I recommend you read that. It's going to give you 27 different types of clients. So I'm going to put a link in the description below. So at the end of this video, you can go check it out. There are so many ways for contractors, whether you're a sub or a GC, to get potential prospects. And we want to be strategic about it. Let me give you an example. If you are a subcontractor and you're looking for general contractors, what you want to do is you want to find the general contractors, one, that are good to work with, and two, that are going to do the types of jobs that are going to give you the most profit. That's important because what happens is a lot of contractors, they just bid, and they never really go back and do an analysis on their profit margins. For example, I know offhand that multifamily jobs yield less profit because they're cookie cutter than maybe like a high-end restaurant, because a high-end restaurant is going to take a lot more craftsmanship, a lot more time, attention. There's more things to consider. So there you could charge premium rates. Multifamily is going to be more like a volume approach. If you're a multifamily guy, maybe you say, you know what, I want easy cookie cutter. Maybe my margin is not 20%, maybe it's 10% or 8% or 5%. But you know what, I want to go in and out with minimal change orders, with minimal administration. I just want to go in and out and blow those projects out. Maybe that's your goal. So the strategic part in the title of this section is because you want to go after the right customers. And how do you find out? So how do you know, like, what are these guys bidding? How do you know? Well, I talked about the Blue Book, right? I talked about the lead platforms, right? I talked about HomeAdvisor. So go use these platforms, go onto the databases, go find out who's bidding, and go take field trips to their offices. Go take field trips and find out, hey, I want to have a meeting with you. What are you guys bidding? What do you guys do? And just start doing that. Start interviewing. Most of the time, my clients, they're the ones getting interviewed, but I want to flip that. What if you go do the interviewing? Why don't you go interview architects, go interview general contractors, go interview developers? And now that I gave you the way to get these unlimited number of leads, now you could be super picky. Hey, I only want to work on multifamily projects that are 5 stories and up. Boom, go find who does that. There's GCs that specialize in that. Or I want to do houses. Go find the GC that does that. Or go find the architect that does that. Oh, I want to do this. Go find a realtor that can recommend you to the owner that you can get that job. So again, go read my 27 Ways on How to Get More Construction Projects article, because I list there every single type of client that you can go pursue. How do you like this video so far? Go ahead and click subscribe and like, and click the little bell icon so you can be notified every time we release a video. Number 3, bid and adjust. So you've gotten the lead, you've strategically figured out who you want to bid for, you've gotten some projects in the door that you want to estimate. So what's next? Now we have to estimate it. But most contractors, they estimate and send, and then they just kind of like go ghost. What we're going to do is what I call bidding and adjusting. You're going to go put this through your estimating department. If you don't have an estimating department, I definitely recommend you invest in building up a team. If you need help estimating, this is actually one of the things that we do. We are an estimating firm, so we specialize in working with busy contractors that you don't have time to estimate. Like I said, you have to crank out jobs. So if you are not able to crank out those jobs, you can give us a call and we can actually help you out and we can estimate your jobs for you. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you bid as many jobs as you can. And one of the things that I always talk about is the first price you submit is like your preliminary bid. Because let me ask you a question. When have you ever submitted an estimate to a client and then they've taken it at face value? Never. They've probably never accept your first bid. They always come back and try to negotiate or get a cheaper rate or tell you that your competitor is cheaper. My favorite was, oh, you guys are 20% higher. It was like always 20%. That's like, it's like standard textbook GC language. Hey, you're 20% higher. So it's funny because I heard that so many times that it became like a joke in the office. What you want to do is you want to submit this bid. And that's why I always say you want to go a little higher, put a high contingency, a little bit higher profit, because if you're starting here, you're going to be able to negotiate down. And if maybe this is where your contract needs to be, you have wiggle room. But if you start here and they say, hey, I need you to lower your price, now you're starting to cut into your profits. And you don't want to do that. You need to make sure that your overhead is covered, your estimating is covered. One of the secrets to getting your estimating done for free is building in your estimating into your bids so that when you land a job, it pays for itself. A lot of contractors complain, oh, I don't want to pay for estimating. It's too expensive. Oh, I could just do it myself. But why do it yourself when your client could just pay for it? That's one of the strategies that we teach our clients. Bid as many jobs as you can and just get them for free because you're going to land the jobs. The law of large numbers says you're going to land out of 10 jobs, you're going to land 1. Out of 20 jobs, you're going to land 2, maybe 3. So if you already know this, why not go all in and bid as many jobs as you can? So part 1 is the bidding. Part 2 is the adjusting. So now we submit the bid, you call the client, you make sure they got your proposal. Worst thing that could happen is that your proposal ends up in like their spam or something. So they got your proposal, and now what you want to do is you want to follow up with the intention of adjusting your bid. This is the secret. A lot of people don't do this. They send the bid and they cross their fingers and they try to get feedback, or they hope that they're going to get feedback, or they hope they're going to get a call back. That's not good business practice. You have to be active with it. You have to visit the client. You have to call them. You have to email them. Don't be annoying and don't be like desperate. I remember once I bid a job on the Blue Book for one of our clients, and we were getting bids in, and I had the concrete guy was calling me like every 2 days. Hey, can I get an update? Can I get an update? Can I get an update? I'm like, no, dude. And I had to stop answering his call because he was annoying me. So don't be that guy. That's desperate and needy and creepy, and don't do it. What you want to do is you want to space it out. The safety is 1 to 2 weeks. That's going to make it where it's safe. You're not going to come off needy. You're not going to come out desperate. The other way to do it is you vary your touch points. So maybe today you call, then maybe next week you visit. And maybe the following week you send a quick email, and the following week maybe you send a quick text to the estimator. Like that, you're not going to be like so intrusive. And what you're going to do is the goal of these phone calls is twofold. One, you're going to want to get feedback on your price. So maybe they tell you, oh, your price is too high, or maybe you have a good relationship with this estimator or this project manager, and they tell you, hey, listen, Danny, your price was, $205,000 and your competitor came in at, $195. I bet you can go and find how to shave off 10 grand. Easy. Take off a little bit of your profit, of your contingency. You can do it. The other thing you can know is that every job is going to yield some sort of change orders. On average, projects are going to get 10 to 30% in change orders. So sometimes you might have to win the job low, hoping and knowing that you're probably going to recover some of these costs in a change order in the future, just because that's how construction is. So you don't really have to worry about like underbidding or something like that. So the second part, I said it was twofold. The second part is you're going to have an opportunity to build those relationships with this client, and they're going to want to give you what is called a last look. So a last look in construction is when you're very familiar and they want to give you the job, they're going to call you and they're going to say, hey, this is my price. Like I'm ready to award the job, but I need you to be at this price. That's where you want to be at. You want to be the last look guy. I remember one time we bid a job that we were like $70,000. That was our bid. And the project manager calls me and says, hey, look, Danny, you guys are the high bidder, way higher than everybody else. What can we do to get that number down to like closer to 55,000? I'm like, look, I could shave off 5 grand. And he says, perfect, done. Here's your contract. I was like, seriously? Like we're still the high bidder. And he gave us a contract. because he was using that as leverage. And I know what he did. He called every single sub and he says, can you give me a discount? 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 Because if every GC shaves off 5% off of every trade, he wins an additional 10% in the profit. So that's just what he did. And you know what? I'm perfectly fine with it because I came back and I gave him a bunch of change orders that were part of the job. Owner changes, requirements from the inspections, that things weren't, to code, whatever. Those are things that come up on the job and you can capitalize on them in your bids. And the other part of the adjusting that I almost forgot to mention is you're going to start seeing the market value change. So today you submit a bid, but then tomorrow you're bidding for another general contractor or maybe for the same person. And now you're going to be able to see like, oh, am I cheap? Do I need to raise my prices a little bit? Or am I high? Do I need to go down a little bit? And the market is always changing. So today your competitor is the small contractors that have low overhead, so the price is cheap. But maybe the next time your competitor is going to be a higher tiered subcontractor or a higher tiered contractor. And that's going to allow you to adjust your market pricing for the current conditions in the market. So hopefully you're getting some value on everything that I'm sharing with you. If you're liking this video, go ahead and subscribe below and make sure you click the little bell icon so that you get notified every time we release a new video. We really want to help you grow your construction business. Number 4, follow up and secure lifetime clients. So it's funny because I've kind of talked about the building relationships part. This is almost like continuing that. But basically what you want to do is when you do this follow up that I had just talked about, you want to invest in getting to know the estimators, getting to know the managers, the project managers, getting to know the senior project managers. If you can set up a meeting with the owners or the principals of the firm, that's what you need to do if you want to start getting repeat work. You want to become a preferred contractor. You want to get on their master bid list. You want to invest in the company. What I always say is you give, let's say, a new architect, or you give a new owner, a developer, or you give a new general contractor, you give them a probationary period. You don't tell them this, but you give them a probationary period. You say, I'm going to bid 10 jobs fast, back to back. And the law of large numbers says if you bid 10 jobs for a general contractor, they're not going to land every single job that you submit to them. They might not win the job themselves, but they're going to win at least 2. Now, on a side note, one of the strategies that we also teach is find out who else is bidding the job. So like if you're a general contractor, you should be calling your architect and saying, who's your competitor? Because that's going to give you insight onto where your price needs to be and things like that. If you're a subcontractor, you should be also calling the architect or the owner and trying to see who the other bidding general contractors are, because you want to make sure that everybody that has a chance of winning the job, that they all have your bid. Because that's going to like triple or quadruple your chances of winning the job. Think about it. If there's 3 general contractors and only one of them is going to win. So right off the bat, you have a 33% chance of winning the job. Let's say that guy wins the job. One of your GC does win the job. On top of that, now you have a 10% chance. So your shot of winning the job is only like 3%. So you have to make sure that you find out who the bidders are, because it's going to help you adjust your pricing and it's going to help you be more strategic about it. So now to secure the lifetime clients, I already talked about this, but you have to invest in getting to know the people behind enemy lines, behind the scenes, visiting their offices, calling them, talking to them, inviting them out to dinner, things like that. Going to the job site walkthroughs. Take every opportunity you can to get to know the people you're working with. Put them on this probationary period, bid 10 jobs. And if you don't land the job, then you have to have a come to Jesus meeting where you say, hey, listen, I've bid these 10 jobs and I haven't gotten anything. I need something. If not, I'm not going to be able to bid the jobs anymore. Remember part 1 of this was building a lead system. If it doesn't work out with one contractor or one architect or one developer, what you do is you cross them off your list and you replace them with the next guy. And what you should be doing is targeting I want to say 12 to 15 potential clients. And those are the ones that you should be courting. They should be visiting, getting to know them. And if you visit or call, one, maybe 2 or 3 of them a week, you're going to space them out and you're not going to be desperate for just one company. So you're going to be bidding a couple of companies and mix and matching. And that's how you're going to do it, because that's how you're going to find your preferred people that you want to work with. Now, I want to share with you a special strategy that I developed over the last few years, working with thousands of contractors and getting feedback. These are the strategies that the winning contractors are using to grow their construction business. And what I did was I prepared a short video training that I want to share with you so that you can watch that and you can implement it. It's how to grow your construction business on autopilot. Check that out. click the link below in the description or go to iambuilders.com/training. So hopefully this was valuable to you, and I hope to help you grow your construction business.